expert, never. I'm a student of the game. I keep learning every time because life will never stop to teach us. Yeah, be ready for any opportunity that comes your way by equipping yourself with knowledge. You read extensively. Try to always educate yourself. Be a student of the game, man. You don't know it all. There are things that you need to continue to learn, and we unlearn what we know. Being the biggest should not be the aim, but being the best at whatever thing you do. If you haven't done 999 days in whatever you're doing, just don't think about quitting until when you've made probably, about 3 years, few days, give or take. You shouldn't think of quitting that which you want to do. And you gotta know it's gonna be hard, man. Yeah, it's gonna be hard, man. You're gonna get some heartache and heartache and pain and stuff like that. But you gotta keep the zeal on. You gotta keep the charisma to keep fighting, to keep working, to be a better person. It's like swimming, guys. Even if I give you 10,000 books on how to swim, it's until when you move the journey. It's until when you try to learn, how to swim. Then you will get to know that indeed, the swimming is easy or hard. It's not a theoretic thing. It's a practical thing. It's like letting a kid who wants to learn how to work, and we don't want to let them fall, man. I love my daughter. I really do. I have one kid that I know of. There was one, we tried the DNA test. No. Let's not go there, okay? Yeah, so the thing is, I hope you reconcile with this. What I care about is the future of these kids, guys. One day when they're faced with, challenges that we are facing today, issues regard to greed, issues regard to corruption, issues regard to nepotism, a lot of stuff that we are faced with. If we do not do anything about these challenges today and now, then it will be them to suffer the same stuff that we went through. And I believe that we can make a difference right here where we are. I don't want to live and die. Nobody notices I was alive and well. I want to, leave a mark. I want to leave a legacy behind me, guys. The more I read, the more I get to know that I know nothing. But constantly I want to read and better myself. So there was a poem that was written in the 80s, if not the 90s. I stand to be corrected. Every man's death affected me. So send not to know for whom the bell toils. It toils for thee. So all of us, man, get involvement. By the way, death is inevitable. It has to happen. If it were inevitable, man, hey, if people were not dying, I think the world would be full, man. Sometimes, man, death is normal. It has to happen, man. We can't live here up to 100. I don't want to live up to 150 either. No, man. So if you can treat your victory and loss as the same thing, then, man, you're a real man. If you can treat your win and losses as the same thing, then you're a real man. Because these are just imposters on us. They do not define us. But we have a destiny to fulfill. And trust me, don't try to live too early. Don't try to rush yourself to start living a lavish life. You got to move the journey. You got to move the process. Man, if you have not moved the process, if you have not moved the journey, man, it's not going to be real, man. You got to move the journey. I love my daughter. I really do. That there's no way I can make her to bypass puberty, because that is part of growth and development. So ultimately, she's got to move through all that processes. I want to see your wife leave you for the guy she left for you so that you build your business. I want to see your wife leaves you and you're still doing it anyway. I want to see you doing whatever you want to do to make your life better, no matter what. Even if selling your big car, sell it off and buy a small border and ride to work. I had an awakening in my life where I feel like I don't have time to massage people's egos, man. I tell you the truth. If you either you take it or leave it, but I've told you the truth anyway. So when I was young, I used to judge people a lot, but I think now, judgment is rather weak, but empathy is stronger, man. So we've got to give people benefit of the doubt, man. And then, try to move on with life, guys. We don't know people's stories, because if we knew, then we would be a little bit slow to judge them and to, try to, put them to test, So at the end of the day, if we want to change the future, we've got to have the courage to accept our faults, because so many times, by the way, it's very easy for us to identify whatever is in people's eyes, but the log in our own, it takes us a long time to realize that we have. And it's hard for us to fix the future unless we have got the courage to confront the past. Other people, would say, I would rather not have this prostitute or this thief in our church, but I would rather they be in church so that they can start to rebuild their life, to to recalibrate their life. It's like, when you're using a GPS and you've taken the wrong turn, it has to recalibrate, it to get you where you are, So we gotta live lives of healers, like Mordecai did in Esther's life, guys. Sometimes we need to motivate and cheer people on. Tough situations are there to have us as lessons to learn from them. Because if it were easy, we wouldn't have had Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Sometimes you gotta move through the fire, man, so that you are a better person. So that we reach that point where, King Nebuchadnezzar could make a second decree and say the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego should be worshipped. If you want to change the world, I told you guys, gotta confront the past and move forward. And the fact is, unless we have learned our history, unless we have learned our past, we can't move forward. So that people will say, man, I am the person I am because of my education. Bullshit. Man, no. You are the person you are because of our heritage, our where we came from. It is the one that built you, to made you to be the person that you are today. How you speak, how you do your stuff. In order for us to move forward, we've got to accept the truth and move forward. The narrative that agriculture is a low-paying job should be debunked. We have to go ahead and have us take to action to mechanize agriculture and do everything without pride, without shame. Because, man, like especially us, the Acholi people, we are so proud people, man. We don't want to do stuff that can, anything that is like low. They would say, how can you be doing that? Whatever. So the fact is, we are living in a diversity, and I hope that our differences can be used as the power of the Tower of Babel, that we will use our differences to be like a cultural mosaic, to bring not only tourism and money to us, but to have us live in harmony. The only antidote to unity is unity in our diversities, guys. Avoid procrastination, any enormous progress. It starts with a step, man. The small beginning, don't despise them. They say bit by bit makes a bundle. You gotta keep on moving. A step in the right direction may be better than, not trying, man. You gotta try and push it forward. I have, I have a lot of experiences on this, and I wish, we can just learn and reconcile with the truth and just move on. I've had an incredible life. I just thank God, and every day that I live, I want to find the purpose for which I am living, because, it's been God really, dining with, the King himself, Maktoum of the place, man. Amazing, man. But from dust to grace, that's what I can say. It's been hard. Growing up as an orphan, living in family from here to there, it was hard, man. So, I don't know. But God loved me so much, and I feel that I have to still find that purpose for which, He's made me to live this way. One thing I can't forget is, when I asked, the King himself, Maktoum, what makes him really proud, what makes him, feel good, or whatever they feel about the progress in this place. Then he told me, like, man, we are also not happy, Hitler. We are not happy. But the fact is, they're a little bit different from us Africans. The fact is, they have accepted that, okay, they are not doing the best, but they have their own time. They will finish and they will go. Other people will come in. So it's a little bit different from us in Africa. Man, for us, if we don't want something, we will complain and even get you out with hook or crook. So they have a different mindset, and they are moving and developing themselves in that way, So we need to love, because I think there's nothing more than loving, guys. We should always love people. It's crazy. Let me just tell you this. One day I met this guy, a friend of mine, from my OB from Colorado SS. I met him around one day, guy. When we met, he was excited to see me driving. Of course, I was alone in the car. The guy was like crazy, man. It's like, Eli, is this really you? Is this really you? I'm like, man, I'm the one, man. By the way, for starters, I was alone in the car. I was driving alone. But not my car, of course, for my sister. So guy was super excited. I'm like, man, you're driving. I'm like, yeah, we are running this town, man. But, he asked me a funny question, like, are you the one driving? I'm like, no, it's my ghost driving. Just like one guy the other day was also calling me up, like, in the middle of the night, was still asking me. He had the guts, the unmitigating tenacity to ask me, like, man, are you already sleeping? What took you so long not to answer your phone? I'm like, man, it's my phone. I bought it with my own money, man. So at midnight, what do you expect me to be doing? If I'm not sleeping, what would you expect me to be doing? So I told him, man, I'm night dancing. Yeah, that's so. I'm not yet sleeping, but I'm night dancing. It's crazy. Sometimes people ask a lot of crazy questions, man. I sleep for barely 4 hours. That's the thing that makes me the person I am today. So it's upon you guys. If you want to change the world, man, you got to take to action. Work. Make the situation better. Because a lot of us are sleeping, man. It's good to dream, but dreams without goals are as good as useless. So you have to, in one way or another, work very hard to, start off your dream. Move the journey. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.